have confidence that Uniland is got a good plan and that it will be successful. What we're concerned about now is how do we get from point A to point B and survive in the process. And there's a lot of people that really need to have help. You know, we need, because right now, a lot of us have questions. I mean, I run into the question a lot, and as I've talked to the tenants, a lot of people, consumers, come into the mall, and we get the question, what's going to happen? Are you guys staying open? What's going to happen to the mall? Are the businesses closing?
We're not allowed signage. Because we're not allowed signage on this road, and I understand the town can't have Las Vegas out front here, because we can't say, hey, we're here, people think we're all closing. They think every one of us. Now, as big a business, we're 40,000 square feet, and you'd be surprised how many people every day say, you're still there? We thought that closed with the mall. We're fighting that every day. So if we could somehow get awareness to the public that, hey, this mall's not gone, it's changing. They just think it's going away. That's the biggest thing we have to fight here. And for the smaller tenants that don't have any visibility at all, that's got to be really tough. You know, I think on the front of that mall right now, besides Penny's, Duff's, and Rocky's, there's no visibility. And every time I put a little sign out front, I get a nice letter from the town that says, pull it in, you're not allowed it. So until we could tell people, hey, we're not closing, we don't want to invest any more money.
And it is a matter of making people aware, you know, getting people out here, and it's not just the advertising. Bob Geiger, who he's on the town board in Clarence, but he's also a member of the Clarence Chamber of Commerce. And he couldn't speak, he was at the meeting, he couldn't speak for the town, but he was representing the chamber at the time, and he did say that, you know, he would address the advertising aspect of it. You know, the town wants to keep transit relatively clean in terms of the signage, but it's also a matter of a balance, and you have to make sure that people are aware, advertising-wise, that we're here. Let's hear what Bob had to say.
I'll certainly put that point across, because advertising is a great product, and we want people to know it's open. Your sign out front can blast that out. I notice you're using a lot of other people to be on your sign, not just mall residents, but let's keep advertising our mall residents. I believe I've seen other companies advertise on it also. But let folks know it's open, and let's report the exciting things that are going to be going on here to keep generating their interest.
So these aren't the first and only meetings that we're going to have. We're going to continue this conversation with mall tenants and maybe get the general public involved as well, because, you know, as a community, we're stakeholders in this. One of the other tenants that was here at the meeting was from Rising Sun. And I love that store because it kind of reminds me of Offbeat Cinema with the vinyl records and all the quirky stuff. And so he was here, and it was one of the first times he had met the mall manager to go over some things. So it was a pretty candid discussion. And what was nice is it really got gave all these tenants an opportunity to touch base, not only with each other, but with management as well, to air any concerns.
And a lot of people have been coming into us saying, why did you come in here when you know this mall's closing next year? We get that every day. I mean, I've even had a guy come in yesterday and go, when are they bulldozing this? And it's like, they're not. We tell them that everybody is okay right now, because some of the store owners, they just say, well, I think it's about two to 3 years or 2 to 4 years. And then you hear, oh, a couple months, there's a lot more leaving. We just play it day by day right now. We can't do anything about it. I've tried to reach out, because my lease is up at the end of July, and I need to know if we can do something to re-up, because we're doing all right here. Everybody comes in and they know we're here now, so they come in, they check out the stores that are like ours, like that, the Emporium and Rising Sun, and What's in Your Attic.
So true. Yeah, each individual tenant does have a stake in this, and it's a unique experience going forward. The emphasis is that this is a local, interesting experience, something that the internet can't compete with. I mean, you can get a lot of things on the internet, and there's a lot of convenience on the internet. But if you want to go out and have an experience and touch the local products and the local merchants, you really have to come out here and deal with the people who are very deserving of your patronage.
And some of the things that make this mall very interesting is that there's enough space to actually manufacture products. There are some tenants here in the mall, public may not know, that actually have some back-end business where they manufacture their product and then they sell it in other places, or they sell it online, interestingly enough, or they sell it in ways that are complementary to what they're doing when people come in as customers. And that's very interesting too, because the space here and the parking lot, everything is so spacious, which is one of the reasons you built the studio here, because people can come in and out very comfortably. One of those tenants who was here, John Grievous, is from the Fetch Dog Treat store here in the mall, and he emphasized again what it's like that not to be here, and also to be here and work as a community together as tenants to make this work.
But you know, honestly, at the end of the day, it's a total team effort. A cliche, right? But it really is. It's going to take all of us to pull our own weight to really make this as successful as it still can be. And my God, when this is done, it will be a destination. And we're also going to have it done before Sinatra has his project done, which is even bigger, because we will be the destination.
And he's right, it's going to be quite a destination in the long term. And by the way, he makes great dog treats. Very
not,
custom.
not that you've had any, Phil, I know.
If you have a dog, come on down. Ed Rath kind of summed it up a little bit. We'll leave you with his last soundbite from him. He's pretty optimistic about the way this is going to go and how this is going to work out for everybody involved. Let's hear from Ed.
The folks that are here are local companies. They're local companies born and raised and bred right here in Buffalo and Western New York. And think about, that's where the foot traffic and that's where retail is really happening these days, is with the local companies. So hats off to the Eastern Hills Mall for connecting with all these local companies, because they're the ones where people are going and seeking out, and they're finding and they're having the experiences like you can have at Rockies with your kids. Then you walk through the mall and go to these local destinations within the Eastern Hills Mall, and it's going to be cultivated and improved going forward.
And I want to emphasize that we do have all the confidence in the world in Uniland and the plans that they have going forward. I mean, Uniland is a top-notch local company that does things first class. So any plans that they have, we think it's just a given that it's going to be great and it's going to be successful. It's also acknowledged that it's going to take time, and there is going to be a transition period. That's the point of this whole program. We have some very deserving businesses here that we want people to know they're here and they're in business and they're worthy of your attention, your patronage. Come on down to the Eastern Hills Mall, because they are in business, they're not going away anytime soon, and they have good products. And so don't for a minute think that if you come down in this area and you're passing by the Eastern Hills Mall, it's not worth stopping in because, you know, nothing's happening. The whole point is we're still here. And that's why we're having this discussion. And going forward, we're going to continue to pursue this, because the next few years is going to be critical to these people. And we want them to be able to stick it out and get to the other side when everything is going to be that good plan going forward.
And we should mention this was not a commercial program in any way,
we're not
shape,
getting
or
paid
form.
for this.
This is something that we thought as a community service. I mean, certainly we're stakeholders in the success or failure of the place, but at the same time, it's an interesting model in how business is changing and how the world is changing. And how Western New York and this particular destination is reacting. What's your email, Phil? Because if you want to hear from the public, they should connect.
You should weigh in on this subject, or you know what, for the big picture, anything that you have in mind as a subject, or all your feedback, because I've been getting a lot of comments, and most of them have been pretty positive. Can't satisfy everybody all the time. But phil.arno@WBBZ-TV. And I welcome all your comments. And we also welcome ideas for programs, anything that you think is an interesting story that affect people here in Western New York. That's what we're here for. And you know, this is your program, and this is the only program in Western New York of its kind. All the other shows that you see, you have to pay to get on. This is not like that. Nobody's paying us to say these things, and you know, our concern for the welfare of the people in Western New York, the good things that happen here, that's what drives the show. So I want to thank you for watching The Big Picture, and I want to thank you for watching WBBZ-TV. This is your station, it's local, and we're here for you. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time on The Big Picture.